Hello everyone, I am Reva, and some of you may be familiar with me, some of you this might be new. I hope that you might like and subscribe to my channel if this happens to be your first time watching. This is a video that I'm doing to share kind of another side of me. A lot of people are familiar with my more sciencey side, and I've kind of kept this other part of me behind curtains. And I talk a lot about how it's really important to be authentically who you are and show up and be fully you because you are amazing. And I guess I may not have been doing that completely. I do that with a lot of stuff, and you guys hear me sharing all the time and are probably very familiar with how much I'm comfortable with and happy to share. But there has been a part of me that I've been kind of judgmental of, I guess, because that's why I've kind of kept it behind curtains. But now I'm just gonna get rid of the curtains and throw this out as another thing I do, and take or leave it. I will still love you, whatever you choose. And here's the thing, this is just something that's really fun, and I like to do oracle card readings. This is Ranger. She says hello as well. Yeah. And you'll probably be familiar with my puppies and all of they like to share too. They like to be part of the videos. So you'll get them coming in from time to time. But this is very different than all of the other stuff that I do. It's not, a yoga class. It's not a breathing class, although I will always remind you guys to breathe. So it's not a bad time to take a big breath in and out. Maybe we just do that right now. Doesn't that feel so much better, just breathing? Okay, so I can't take the breathing out of everything. That is just it's always gonna be a part of stuff. But, I want to share this other side of me and see if you can play along and have some fun with it too. Just like with all of my messages, take what resonates and leave the rest. It's it's part of me, so take or leave it, but I'm here, this is me, and this is something that I do. So let's start off with this deck. I really like this deck because it has all sorts of ocean animals. It's Whispers of the Ocean. Oh gosh, there's lots of decks and cards and whatnot. But what we'll do is we'll kind of break this down into a few segments. We're going to do the energies, the current energies coming up for this week. I believe it's 10/31, which is Halloween today, which is why I'm wearing this, because I'm a pumpkin. Well, actually, I'm a dragon. But my dragon mask is somewhere else right now. So I'm going to be a pumpkin for right now, temporarily. And then I'm sure you'll see, or if you haven't already seen pictures of me as a dragon in other places, you'll see pictures of me as a dragon eventually. But we're going to do current energies for this coming week, 10/31 to 11/6, I believe, whatever this week is. And we're going to start off by going through what energies work might be holding. So what's going on in the workspace? And this reading's for anybody who might be watching, so just kind of feeling into what you guys might be experiencing. And we'll also do a little bit on relationships, and I have a category that I think is very fun that is not typical for readings. It's going to be on self-love, because I think that matters. So let's see what is in store for work life. Let's see what we've got. "28, seeing both sides. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective." Yep. So you got your hammerhead shark there. Some other cool little fishy swimming around. Yeah? Okay, so what this particular card's message is, it's pretty clear. Take a step back. There could be some stuff that's confusing. There might be some misunderstandings. You might have a gut reaction to something that happens at work. And the idea here is to maybe not respond immediately, or to lash out, or to have a very strong emotional response. your emotions are always valid, feel them, but maybe don't act upon them just yet. Maybe take a little time and try to look at it from, so if it's your coworker and you who have a disagreement, or a manager and you who have a disagreement, try to look at this thing, whatever the issue that comes up, from a few different perspectives. Try to see, from their eyes, from your colleagues' eyes, what is it that might really be going on? Are you missing a very important piece of the puzzle? Are you missing a message? Or maybe are you misinterpreting something they're saying? It's always a good idea to kind of repeat back and go, so what I'm hearing you say is, and then give what your interpretation is, just to make sure you don't have any real miscommunication from the get-go. So just that seems to be coming up as a good note to consider. Just, saying things, and saying things from both sides is very much there's always something there for us to learn when we have a strong emotional reaction. Triggers are a really good indication that there's something that's not in alignment with the way that we are understanding something consciously. So sometimes, for example, you'll hear something that someone says that's very upsetting, and maybe it's a jab at you, or some kind of something that's not that very nice that someone says to you. And the reason that you might get so upset, and the reason I've experienced this many times, is often because there's a little bit of truth. And I'm not saying it is true what they're saying, but you might believe that it's true at a subconscious level. Consciously, you might be like, I'm amazing. That person is crazy. But at a subconscious level, you might be kind of a little bit hard on yourself, or a little kind of putting yourself down, and you agree with that negative statement, and that's why it bothers you so much. But when you start to acknowledge it, at least recognize, oh wow, I might actually believe that about myself. Because there's lots of stuff that people say that just kind of it just brushes right past us. We don't even notice they said it. It doesn't, because we don't believe it's true consciously or subconsciously. But if there's a little nugget of truth that subconsciously we believe, that's where we start to get those really aggravating triggers. And so it's kind of valuable to see, when there's things that come up that are, this is upsetting, this is frustrating. Look at it from this is both sides, but look at it from the other person's side, but also look at it from your side, consciously and subconsciously. Is there a nugget of truth in what's being said, and is that why it's so upsetting? Okay. You didn't know you were going to get a psychology lesson out of this, did you? Okay. 49. Be insightful and established. Ground and rebalance your energy. Bring your awareness into the now rather than allowing it to occupy the past or future. Okay, now this may be related to the last card or not, but you see we got little I think these are little sea urchins. So cute little sea urchins. But here's the thing. When you have stuff that comes up, difficult conversations at work, anything like that, you might be tempted to have all of this history that you're holding on to that you bring into the conversation. So you might be like, but all of these other things, or I'm afraid of this other stuff in the future. And realistically, all of that may or may not be relevant in the current moment, but you're bringing in all of the weight and luggage and all of the heaviness of the past, and you're doing all of this projecting of fears into the future, and none of that really helps you with the current conversation. Now you might go, but we learn from the past, and I don't want to have the same thing happen again. And you might even go, I can already see this thing that's going to go wrong in the future. But when you stop and let go of all of that stuff and just assess the current question or conversation and see, what are the possibilities? What are the ways we can address this issue or this topic? How can we move forward, not holding on to everything that could have gone wrong? It sounds counterintuitive because as a scientific-minded person, you might want to always use the past to indicate what's next in the future. But there's actually a lot of times where that doesn't serve us. That's not actually the best foot forward. It's not actually going to give you the best answer. You might think it would, and I used to think that way too, but actually it's not. Take or leave, but like, it's not. And so when you can sit with yourself and really sit with yourself, like tap into your intuition, tap into your highest self, high inner guidance, whatever you want to call it, your inner wisdom, your inner mentor, there's a lot of different words that people use for it, but that deep inner knowing, you have so much knowledge and wisdom inside of you. And when you stop trying to rehash the past and plan for the absolute worst possible things and fear about everything in the future, and you just sit with your deep inner wisdom of what is the best thing to do here, you'll get a much better answer that's going to lead to better outcomes than if you constantly are holding all of the weight of the past and the future at the same time. It will not, you will constantly be trying to logic your way through things, and that isn't going to actually give you the best answer. You want to use your intuition to guide you, and you will make much better choices. Okay, let's see. There's one more we'll pull from here. Oh, I love this. 46. Facing your fears. Look for ways to strengthen your connection to the universe and others. Stay peaceful and calm in the knowing of who you are. Facing your fears. This is the lionfish, I believe. Whenever I say the lionfish, I think of, gosh, what's that? Is it New Girl? There's an episode where Schmidt... Cece wants a lionfish. I can't remember now, I think. Or Schmidt wants to give Cece a lionfish. I don't remember why. But I remember there's a lionfish. And I think he ends up getting like stung by a lionfish. So my understanding is they're venomous, or maybe they have little spines that are venomous. I don't know. It seemed like it didn't go well for him when he touched it. So maybe don't touch the lionfish. It's not the message of the card. That's just a random separate thing that kind of popped up. You might hear some stuff in the background, but that's okay. It's life. Life happens. Okay, facing your fears. Look for ways to strengthen your connection to the universe and others. So, fears are actually really, really great tools for helping us to know what is the direction to go. Often the things that, now, okay, I get it. If you're standing on the edge of a cliff and you're afraid of falling off and dying, don't step off the cliff. I think that's easy. Don't do things that are clearly not gonna do you any kind of favors. But when we look at, okay, I'm afraid of this conversation. I'm afraid of this topic. I'm afraid because I don't know something. There's something there for you to understand about yourself. There's something where if you overcome that, or at least walk towards it and explore it, sometimes you don't actually have to do the thing. Sometimes you don't even have to have the conversation or take the action, but you look at and try to like extrapolate in your mind. Why am I afraid of this? What is it that bothers me so much about doing this? You'll actually get a lot of really great insights about your own psychology and your own way of living in this world and your way of rationalizing and thinking. There's so much we don't know about ourselves when it comes to how our minds work. And when we start to just kind of relax and go, hey, I clearly am resistant and I'm afraid of this conversation, this project, this topic. Why? Is it because, there's a person that disagrees with me and I'm afraid if I have that conversation, then they'll make me feel bad about myself? Or am I afraid I don't know enough? Or I'm afraid that they're going to act a certain way to me, or there's going to be certain repercussions? What is it that what is the underlying fear, and why does that even bother you? Why are you allowing other people's judgment of you to control how you act, behave, and think? Are you allowing the way, if you're afraid of how someone's going to respond, or how, people are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to respond and react in all sorts of ways. But how does that make you feel? This is a therapy session. Disclaimer, I am not a psychologist. Although I seem to do that for a lot. It's all good. Anyways, so how does it make you feel? Like, why are you feeling that way? What is it bringing up for you and how has that pattern of you feeling that way because of this person changed how you behave? Because you are amazing and you don't have to change who you are. You don't have to protect your image, because you're freaking phenomenal, and you just have to accept that too. And when you start to accept yourself, you suddenly see everyone else start to treat you differently. You start to see that they actually mirror back to you that you do accept yourself, and they'll start to accept you too, and they'll start to respect you more, and you'll it's a very different way of being. Anyways, face your fears. Start to really look at them and assess them, understand them. Okay. Now, so that's about work. That's work stuff. It's been a while since I've done this. This is fun. This is really fun for me. And for some of you, this might be brand new, and you're like, what on earth is she doing? And that's okay, because I love you anyways. And you don't have to know what I'm doing. Just know that I'm having fun. And that's kind of all that matters. Okay. Let's see. Now we're going to go into some relationships. What have we got for relationships this coming week? Just need to check one quick thing. Okay, we're gonna, this thing is falling. It's all good. It's okay. Things happen. Okay, so we're gonna look at, in case you're curious, this is Whispers of Healing. I really like the whispers. I just realized 3 of these are whispers. We have a Whispers of the Ocean, Whispers of Healing, and Whispers of Love. I think I even have other whispers decks, but anyway, you only get three decks of whispers today. So we're going to look at relationships. We're going to look at relationships. What is coming up for this week in relationships? Whatever that means to you. Ooh, 42, unconditional love. This is a very pretty card. It's got very rainbowy fairies on it. And the message, let's just, this is a fun one that I like to they're all fun, but I'm gonna use. So in general, unconditional love, unconditional love is what it is. It's allowing and accepting and loving someone and yourself for exactly who you are, no matter what that is. It's not wanting you or them to be different. It's not and that's kind of a key. That's a key to having a really solid relationship. And I don't even mean unconditional love of the other person, although that is important too. It's actually unconditional love of yourself, because if you unconditionally love you, then you allow them to unconditionally love you, and there's a good chance that you're going to have a much easier time unconditionally loving other people. Although a lot of us have a really easy time saying we're going to unconditionally love other people, and then we don't do that for ourselves. That's why we judge ourselves. But we can work on that and not judge ourselves. All right, so here's what the little book says. Continuing to love someone, no matter what, may be difficult. However, love is always worthwhile. You are made up of love 100%. This is the truth of your very being. No matter how upset you are, how much you beat yourself up, or unknowingly hurt other people, you will always have love residing in you. Your heart is seeking love at every second of your life. Love unconditionally means giving love without expectation. Being and giving the love you want to experience in your relationships can be the hardest lesson of life, like I just said. A big part of unconditional love is forgiveness. You limit your ability to achieve unconditional love when you blame someone for a past wrong or rehash past sufferings. Beating yourself up and blaming your sadness on the past only triggers more distress in your life. You have a purpose in life, and you have a choice. You can let the past haunt you and inflict more suffering in your life, or you can forgive yourself and get back to living your purpose. 2 fairies depict this message. One fairy has her hands over her heart as if she is receiving love. The other fairy is openly expressing love to her friend. The rainbow hues symbolize magical blessings. Rainbows remind us of the benefits that come from hoping and believing that unconditional love heals all things. There is so much love being shown to you every day. Unconditional love is your greatest challenge and your greatest joy. So, maybe try to take some time for both you and other people in your life that you're in a relationship with, and try to look at where you're starting to bring back all of these things from the past that you haven't let go of. And maybe you think you've let go of it, but maybe you really haven't. And that's why something's bothering you. So if you're finding yourself kind of picking fights, or you're having stuff coming up like where you're like annoyed or angry, ask yourself, are you unconditionally loving the other person? Are you unconditionally loving yourself? Often it's actually not possible to unconditionally love yourself while you're upset with another person, because like you currently are harboring this anger and frustration. So that's your own personal experience, is anger and frustration. So you can't simultaneously unconditionally love yourself if you're harboring anger and frustration in that exact second. You can flip back after a little bit, but you can't, like, they don't work together. So you are effectively unconditionally loving no one in that instance. Okay. I'm sure, you know what, actually that one did fall out. So I'm gonna take that one. Okay, 25, learning. A little kid, a little boy. He's got this little plant thing he's looking at. Like I said, for this one, I kind of like their little messages, so I'm gonna pull this one too. 25, learning. As humans, we are perpetually learning and growing. Learning to handle emotions comes from attentiveness. Managing stress, anxiety, and anger is a learned skill. Understand what sets off your distress or anger. Choose how you will respond to your triggers more effectively. Persist with this approach until it becomes an automatic response. You may feel you are resistant to learning the lesson at hand. The reasons for resistance vary. It may be stubbornness, habit, or a self-destructive pattern. During times of conflict, your lesson may be more crisis-oriented. You may be in denial about something in your life. It can be hard to face your fears and admit weakness. Issues may build to a point where you need to address your actions. Be honest with yourself. Are you in an addictive cycle? Are you accepting responsibility for your role in this situation? You may need an outside source to help you break out of a pattern. Once you recognize an unhealthy pattern, you can learn how to improve your existing situation. Try new approaches and be open to not knowing what will happen next. Ask to learn this lesson with grace. A child holds a single stalk of wheat. Oh, it's a wheat stalk. Okay. With a ladybug on it. Oh, I had a little willow. Okay. It does have a ladybug on it. Wheat denotes the use of caution and wisdom. The child studies the ladybug to learn what she is going to do. The ladybug represents delight and a knowing that cannot be taught. Can you remember how you were as a child? Children are often able to create exactly what they want through positive thinking, resourcefulness, and persistence. Throughout life, you have learned to doubt and fear. Be like a child, willing to learn and in awe of the world around you. The butterflies in this picture are symbols of transformation. If you are willing to work on the situation, transformation is inevitable. The prevalence of green means healing and abundance are not far from you. I mean, that's a really, like a very simple thing to kind of, there are a lot of things I just said, but a very simple thing is just to consider changing your reaction or your response. If you always tend to react or respond a certain way, maybe you're very judgmental about something, maybe you always jump to criticize someone, or you're very defensive. If somebody does something, it makes you very angry very quickly, and so you react and respond the same way every time, whether it's with family or friends or a partner. But if you can slow it down and start to just, like, if you hit a pattern where you're just like, why do people keep doing this to me? Like, why does the same exact thing keep happening over and over and over again? Okay. When that happens, which I get it, it's frustrating. It happens to me too. I say stuff, but there are times I still have reactions. When you change your reaction, so instead of going, like, stop the knee-jerk thing where you want to go, well, screw you, or like, how dare you, or what that, like, stop that knee-jerk reaction and just try to have a different response. anything that annoys you or that keeps happening that's bugging you, just choose a different response and play with it and see if your life gets better or if it doesn't change or if it gets worse. Usually people's lives will get better as you start to have a different response to the same problem, the same situation that keeps coming up over and over and over again. You will find that is that like the definition of being insane or something, like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results? So it's like, don't be insane or whatever that's for. You know what I'm talking about. So like, don't do that. Do a different thing and maybe you'll get a different outcome. Okay, we're going to do one more from this deck. One more from this deck. Let's see. 8 flow. Oh, and some pretty dragonflies and butterflies. Again, this is for relationships. 8 flow. This card is about manifestation. It is wonderful to know you can release your unhappiness. Please trust that you hold the power to be happy. Your healing is hinged on how you view your world. If you feel unhappy or unlucky, you may benefit from committing to a more positive attitude. You have fallen into a pattern of limiting thinking, and that doesn't allow you to see your inner beauty. This card also suggests that you often find yourself in situations that trigger past issues. A lot of triggers this week, it sounds like. Perhaps it is time for you to heal those issues. Be open to the messages and signs that are continually part of your reality. Allow yourself to see your blessings. Trust that you are given opportunities to grow and learn so that you can release what doesn't work and call in what your true desires are. The waterfall in this image is illustrative of renewal or life changes. The dragonflies represent your deeper thoughts and address a need to live more fully. The butterflies symbolize the soul. Your soul is on a journey of transformation. On your journey, you will come across lessons and sudden changes that may shift your perception and bring you closer to enlightenment. At this moment, your ability to manifest is amplified. Determine what it is you desire and get to work to make it happen. So, consider the flow state. Everyone talks about getting into the flow state when you're trying to create something. If you want to enter the flow state, you can't be focused on how you feel, like how negative everybody else is or how many people bugged you that day, or if you're so focused on the things that are wrong. Like, how can you maybe start to just take one thing at a time where maybe it's a situation you would normally go like, this sucks. Like, can you find something, like a nugget, a tiny little grain of rice in there where there's something good? And then focus on that as much as you can over the amount of shit that you're seeing. Like, can you just take a tiny little fraction of the whole shit pile and go, ooh, that's pretty. And like, see if there's anything that makes you feel a little bit warm and fuzzy, and like, don't focus on the smell. Maybe you plug your nose and you just see like, oh, that looks like a heart. So, it's a cute pile. Try to make it a little lighter. The more you do that, the closer you get to your flow state, and that's when you can start to be really creative and create some amazing things. And just realize, like, you're in a place, in a stage where you might have really great opportunity for getting inner wisdom from yourself and tapping into that inspiration and those ideas. You don't want to lose that flow and that potential for like creation because you're so hyper focused on all of the other crap. Just like give yourself that really awesome golden nugget of like, oh, I have a chance right now to really create something amazing. Maybe it's for your department. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and it's just like you have a new offering you're creating. Whatever it is, like, just know that's something there for you this week, and like play with how can you see more light in a situation? How can you get yourself into more of that flow state and start taking steps to creating and bringing into being whatever that thing is you wanted to create? Okay, so that is that deck. Let's see what else we have. We got a ranger coming over to say hi. Huh? Yeah? Are you going to come say hi? I know. You want to go play, huh? You want to go play? We're going to play. We're going to play. We're going to play. We will. I promise. I promises. I promises we'll play. Yeah. You're going to give kisses. Oh my God. Oh, thank you. You're such beautiful kisses. Thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you. She says hello and she sends kisses. Yeah, you just send kisses. Yeah, you do. Is it okay if I do a few more cards? Hmm? Is that okay? I know. I know. Okay, let's see here. The next topic is self-love. How can we, like, what are the things, what are the lessons, what are the hurdles, and what are the themes of self-love that we might be seeing this week? Ranger. Ranger. He's trying to see, find goodies. Okay. Sorry. There's a little hair that got in my eye. It got in my eye, but I'm going to get it out. It's out. Okay, we're good. We're good. 9, slow down. So you don't get a hair in your eye. Pause and allow things to unfold. Okay, so how do we use this message to practice self-love? Very simple. When you have chaos and you're just like, oh my God, there's too much happening. There's like this, there's this fire, there's this person, they won't leave me alone, the kids' school's calling me, like all of the things. Slow down. Now, I haven't had a chance to upload all of my Yoga Nidras so far. There's going to be more new ones coming out too, but Yoga Nidra is an excellent way. So you can go back to the old good gracious, the Dragon Breath Yoga YouTube channel that I have, and you can look. So I think if you just not Google, if you go on YouTube and you look up Dragon Breath Yoga Nidra, you'll probably find one of them. Anyways, the Yoga Nidras are great. It's the art of yogic napping. They're a very good practice for slowing down and connecting with that intuition. But anytime you, like, it doesn't even have to be that. Go take a nap. Go take like 5 minutes to close your eyes and put your head down. Like, when you feel like too much is happening, a great self-love practice is just slowing down, not going, oh, I need to answer everyone faster, because that's never going to help you get better. You might in that moment or in the hour be like, oh, I got through all those tasks or all those things people wanted me to do. But really, like, if you want to, in the longer term, have less of that chaos, slow down in the moment that you feel like is the worst moment to slow down. When you feel like you don't possibly have a minute to spare, that is when you put the keys down, the purse or whatever, wallet, your phone down. Maybe you can mute it, walk away from the phone, unless you're playing my Yoga Nidra. And just close your eyes and breathe. Take 3 deep breaths. Maybe even like, I know, I'm going to get you guys to breathe all the time. So breathe with me right now. Just like put your hands on your belly. Maybe you have one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. And we're going to take 3 breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Starting now. Breathe in. Exhale here. Big breath in. Fill those lungs. Exhale here. One more big full breath in. Hold if you can. Exhale here. Just do that. Just take 3 breaths when you feel like you don't have any time for breaths. And that can help you start to tap into that inner wisdom, have the knowing of what's the right answer, what's the next step, what's the best thing for me to devote my time to next. And everything gets so much easier. Okay, let's see. We're going to do one more from this. What is another theme for self-love this coming week? Love is all around you now. There is love everywhere, all the time. Simply acknowledge this truth. That's very pretty. It's like she's got a swirling dress of the universe around her. Or at least the whole world. I'm gonna see, 16. Look around and recognize that love is showing itself to you always. It comes in the smile on a stranger's face, simple acts of kindness on the warm sun in a blue sky. Life is wonderful. How lucky are you to be so loved? If you feel you need a little more love, look around you. Take in all that is happening. Look at everything you have ever achieved. Feel love from family, neighbors, friends, your coworkers, pets, or animals in nature. Can you feel the love? Think about the love in your life that you may not have noticed. Love comes in diverse shapes and varieties. Know who and what you love, and who and what loves you in return. A woman spins around with her arms out wide. The many images on her skirt of individuals, couples, and nature reflect her environment. Her open arms are a beautiful reminder to keep an open heart and mind. Love is all around you always. And it sounds, a little cliche or a little bit, I don't even know if it's cliche, but, silly to say this, but, when you're really in a bad place, try to look at literally everything. Look at the flowers that are blooming outside. Think about how, they're blooming for you. It's about perspective. It's about, you're not crazy for making stories up in your head. They could be, you can either choose to believe the flower is blooming because it loves you, or you could choose to believe it's not. But does the second really help you at all? Do you know what's going on inside of the flower? No. But if you choose to believe that flower loves you, and if you choose to see the love in all the situations, maybe your kids are pissing you off, or they're saying shit to you, and it doesn't seem very loving. But it's, there's a nugget of love in there somewhere. It's it wouldn't bother you so much if you didn't love them and you didn't know that they loved you too. And because there's a part of you that's why are you saying this? Because you love me, you shouldn't be saying this. But they love you. And the same thing could happen with a partner, with a friend, or a coworker. It's it could be anybody. It could be, but like I said, you'll look for the stuff that you could just, your animals love you. You know that your animals love you. If you don't have an animal and you can have an animal, go get an animal because it will love you. And then you'll know that too from them. But they love you. The sky loves you. The sun loves you. The sun comes up every day for you. And there's no way to test that that's not true and actually get the result. So why not theorize and hypothesize and play with that and go, you know what? The sun comes up for me. I think you understand. I don't need to explain that experiment, but it's a weird idea. But I'm a weirdo. So what are you going to do? Okay. So that is the message for your self-love strategy for this coming week and what to prepare for. And I think that's sufficient there. Now we're going to do 2 more cards. We're going to do a drag. We're going to see what message the dragons are bringing us, because I love dragons. I mean, look at this. I love dragons. So why would I not pull from the Dragon Oracle deck? There's multiple Dragon Oracle. Well, actually, this one is literally called the Dragon Oracle cards, so that actually is accurate. But there's multiple dragon cards that I have. This is just one of them. Okay. We got the Golden Atlantean Dragon. These are cool decks, by the way. These are cool dragons. The Golden Atlantean Dragon helps you remember the wisdom of Golden Atlantis. Awaken, bring back your knowledge, gifts, and talents. Reclaim your mastery. Now, for some people, you're going to see this and go oh, cool, I get it. And some of you are going to go, what the flip? And that's okay. All of these responses are perfectly fine and acceptable. But let's see, what can I give you guys from the deck on this guy? Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to translate it for people who are like, the flip. And really for everybody, because this is kind of, so like what this, people talk about Atlantis, you know, as like a place or like not a place or whatever your belief is. Like, I love you, whatever your belief is. So I'm not going to tell you one way or another what the deal is with that place. But what I will tell you is you can consider, because here's what I've found. In a lot of mythology, in a lot of like, there's like a nugget of truth in everything. So like all across various religions, I'm not saying, like I'm definitely not any particular religion, but like all across religions, there's little nuggets of values and things that I think everyone, that kind of like, it strings along almost every religion. There's like certain qualities or traits of ways of being that they talk about, you know, be a good person, be kind, be, you know, thoughtful and all those things. And like, there's an essence of truth in some of these different groups of thought and everything. And often there's a lot of different gods and deities, and like, they're very much like archetypes or like, kind of like buckets of like traits or qualities of like, you know, love and compassion, being like good to nature and like taking care of and being considerate of nature, you know, like being like a very, I don't know, it's my brain's, it's a lot of things. It's Halloween. I'm allowed to go play soon, so I'm going to go get candy. But like, my brain's already like bouncing around getting candy. So, bear with me. But, you know, there's archetypes. There's different, like, so, but with that, there's something valuable with a lot of archetypes, because it's just like, this is a quality or trait to consider how it's a value and how you can bring that quality or trait into your own life. Like, these are not things that are outside of you. All of these things, like even the zodiac, people talk about, like, you are the entire zodiac. Like, you harbor the traits of the entire zodiac. You harbor the traits of all of the deities. You harbor the traits. Now, you can choose to believe whatever you want to believe. Like, no, you don't have to think this way. I'm gonna try not to choke. Can have some water, actually. The way I see a lot of these very commonly talked about or more popular locations, ideas, deities, is that they are like a form of archetype of some nugget of truth about our own consciousness. And so for this golden Atlantean dragon, the message, the kind of like theme per se, that, you know, the dragon theme for this week is kind of like tapping into your own intuition. Like the wisdom, when they talk about tapping into your ancient wisdom and your ancient knowledge, that's a lot like tapping into your intuition or that knowledge that has existed with you from, whether you want to say from this lifetime or from all lifetimes, if you're one multiple lifetime person, whatever your, you know, belief system is. But like, there is this, I always start with the deep inner wisdom, your intuition. There's that knowledge you carry, but when you are constantly trying to logic everything out and constantly get other people's weighing in on what you do, and you don't do things for your own genuine, authentically genuine self, like who you are and what's right for you, and you're using everybody else's reasons to do things or fear to do things, then you negate all of that wisdom that you've carried with you for forever, whatever that is for you. And what we're kind of being asked to do at this time is to maybe sit with and connect with our own inner wisdom and tap into that knowledge that we have at all times, that's so much more expansive than anything we could possibly get from a book or from, you know, like listening to the radio or something else. So like just sitting with yourself quietly and trying to connect with all of that knowledge you already carry that you aren't typically spending time with and accessing and being able to, you know, take advantage of. So that is that. Now, the last card I have for you guys is an animal. So this is Spirit of the Animals Oracle. And they're just different spirit animals. And what I like to do with these guys is play little synchronicity games with them. So synchronicity, a lot of you already know what this is, but like synchronicity is like two things happening that are very, it's kind of like signs from the universe. Let's just say it like that. Signs from the universe. Signs from the universe that you're on track, or that something you're doing, quote unquote, right thing. You're on the right path. You know, something cool is heading your way. That's what these are. So I'm going to pull one, and then we'll use it as a synchronicity for the coming week. So what is the animal synchronicity for this week? Let's see. Ooh, elephant, greatness. Now I love it when I love it when there's a card that's not standard, like unless you happen to be somewhere where there are elephants everywhere, because then when you see it, you know it's a sign. Okay, because if I tell you, like, I don't know, like lately there's lots of Canadian geese, so if I saw a goose, it's like I know there's gonna be a goose like every day. Anyways, so elephant, greatness, love is your strength. Talking about all the self-love. Look at that. Love is your strength. Leadership is your path. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet, because it does. You can overcome any problem, because you can. You will naturally and easily achieve success. Does that sound good? That's what this wonderful elephant brings us. I'm just going to pull its little thingy. Let's see. Little elephant. Well, big elephant. Royalty, longevity, inner strength, politics, leadership, power, impervious, courage, discernment, memory, wisdom, family. Elephants are the mightiest land mammals. Nothing can stand in the way of their determination and strength. Elephant medicine helps us break down any barrier that might hold us back from success. Elephants are a symbol for good luck and prosperity. See, money is coming your way. I don't know, maybe. But why not? They have thick skin and little things do not bother them. Elephant teaches us to let go of petty irritations and focus on what matters. Elephants are matriarchal. Baby elephants are welcomed with squeals and tears. The entire group raises the young. Elephants live long and the females stay together for life. Males leave the herd when they reach adulthood and are often form their own groups. If you are an elephant person, you are a take-charge individual, you are happy to lead, you are gregarious and generous unless provoked to anger. If elephant is your totem, you have a fine mind and are a lifelong learner. Your strong sense of smell makes you very discerning. You are loyal and protective of your family and community. Call upon elephant to enhance these traits for you. May all your friends be loyal and true. May you become the leader you were born to be. Taking charge is your natural gift, and your wisdom and strength will inspire everyone around you. It will. I fully believe that. The contrary it comes with are distractions making you forget things? Center yourself. Do you need to develop a thicker skin? How does your current situation smell? How does it smell? Use your nose. Try it. Maybe it'll tell you something. Seek the truth. Signs are everywhere. They are, because this is a sign. So look out for elephants. Elephants are going to be your sign this week. Okay? I would love if you do see elephants, if you could just like put a little message in a comment. I love if you put comments anyways, because I think they're fun to read. So if you put comments, I will read your comments. And especially if you see an elephant, like you can leave a comment and then leave another comment when you see elephant, because I want to find out how many of you actually. Maybe if you don't, then that's fine too. You can still tell me. Be like, I didn't see an elephant. Be like, well, the universe doesn't love you. I'm kidding. I don't mean that. I'm sure the universe loves you either way. Okay, so that's my oracle readings. I've done this for quite some time, but I have not shared it with everybody. So now I am. Yeah, you'll see more of these. They might come up weekly. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I kind of do things, and then we see what happens. I try not to say for sure what's going to happen, because I don't know sometimes. Because I love myself, and I do what feels like the right thing to do in a given moment. And right now, this is what I felt like doing. So, yeah, I will leave it at that for now. I send you so much love. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.